All right, well, good Saturday afternoon. Coming to you a day early. Must be something in the air, getting stuff done quicker this week. So, with that being said, we are finishing up Module 5, a little over halfway now through our class. And we'll just finish it up with this reflection blog that we'll be doing. And let's get into it. All right, starting off, just it's going to be a real quick one this week. So, we're going to do an overview, going over the reading that we were assigned. And then our reflections, instead of a more of a prompt this week, we're going to reflect back on some other things. Two big questions we're taking away is the guiding principles in building trust as an ethical leader and its importance throughout an organization from top to bottom. All right, starting off with our reading recap. This week we read the leadership values and workplace ethics and the balance of the careers. And these are just some of the big takeaways I wanted to pull from the reading. I thought that were very important and mentioned just going over real quick. So getting started off with it, we have ethical leadership and the importance of aligning actions with stated values. So with that, just as a leader being the person that you're portraying to be, and you demonstrate that through your actions. And that's very important to be an authentic leader. Moving on, you have significance of trust in the workplace and how leaders play a pivotal role in fostering trust through consistent ethical behavior. Once again, that's just another very important thing. It's kind of the old cliche term of walking the walk and being able to talk the talk, so to speak. So as a leader, if you're gonna instill these values and portray yourself as this leader of high ethical standards, you also need to back that up with your actions and things you do through your leadership. One thing else I noticed in here, Dr. Duntz C. Twice three constructs of trust, and highlighting, emphasizing that trust is not merely a single trait, but a combination of factors, including capacity for trusting, perception of competence, and perception of intentions. So that's just I thought it was a good thing to highlight. Kind of important there in the passage. And like it says there, it's just three constructs of trust, and how all three of those play a pivotal role in kind of building the trust between leaders and the followers. And all three of those are very important, and they help build that foundation and kind of build on that relationship between leaders and the followers throughout their time in an organization. Moving on, we got workplace ethics are portrayed as comprising a set of values and expectations which must be upheld by leaders to maintain credibility and trust. Once again, if you're a leader and you're laying out expectations and you're laying down your values and what you state that you stand behind and what kind of makes you tick as a leader, you need to be able to back that up and show that through your actions, like I've said previous. And that helps maintain that credibility and trust, because all it takes is that one bad instance. We've all heard probably the saying of you can have a million good examples or good things happen as a leader, but people always remember that one time that there was a misstep or miscue, or your ethics are challenged, or just things like that. That's what people remember. Everybody has when there's a good things are going, everyone has and is having a good time. It's kind of a standard, right? But once that one bad thing happens, or that miscue, or that just misrepresentation of your values, and people hold on to that. So that's a big thing to take away from that. Leading by example and integrating values into all aspects of organizational culture and decision-making process. That's important for the organizational health altogether, right? They talk about culture. That's who you are as an organization, what you stand behind. That's where more of those guidelines and ethics of the organization come into play. And that lays the foundation out for the entire organization, not just you as a leader in your section that you lead, but for everyone. And then finally, characteristics of successful leadership, including adaptability, inspiration, fostering growth, and the well-being of employment. So just more characteristics that kind of goes into this whole concept of ethical leadership. Those are very important aspects and things to remember and to apply as leaders. And then the last thing real quick, the reading recap, there's a video in there, and it talks about the 8 qualities that make an exceptional leader. Vision. So every leader has a vision. What they want to see happen, where they want to take this organization to, what they think can be done. That's the vision. Accountable, being held accountable, right? As a leader, you are not only there for all the good, but you are there for the bad, and you are the accountable person. And you need to be able to accept that and work with that and be able to come from that, right? So if a bad decision is made and it falls on you, you own it and you learn from it and you move on. Inspirational. I think that's probably key for any leadership's tool belt of tools, right? You got to be an inspiration to lead people. You got to be someone people are willing to look up to and aspire to be, but aspire to be behind. That they would build that trust with you, and they want to follow you wherever you go and wherever you're taking the organization, and they have that trust in you. Opportunity to succeed. So give your people the opportunity to do things, right? You don't have to micromanage everything. Trust your employees, trust your members, let them do things, let them succeed on their own, and be there when you need to be. But yet give them that space. Communication savvy, that's huge. Communication can sink any organization real quick, especially if you're bad at, let's loop it back into vision, right? If you can't portray your vision effectively and get people to understand it, that can just right at the bat, you're creating potential hazards in the workplace and organization. So communication is very important, not only just through words, but you have to be able to communicate written. You have to be able to write. You have to be able to speak. You have to be able to lead and know different environments and how to handle those environments and what to do and what to say in those environments and things like that, and kind of know your left and right and know your audience around you. Being strategic, right? And that's just seeing past what the future is, right? Being able to strategize where you're taking your people, where you're taking your organization. Have a plan. Don't just wing it. Be prepared for what you're trying to do, and kind of builds into that vision, right? What's your strategic vision at the end of the day? Where are you trying to take this organization? How are you trying to get there? Empowering. Once again, that kind of loops back into opportunity to succeed, but empowering your people. Giving them the opportunity to take on tasks, take on parts of the organization, and run it themselves. And you're building the leaders behind you that one day might be the ones that replace you. That's a huge thing. So just empowering is a very big thing. And then finally, having value in your employees, value in your organization, just value everything, right? There's a reason you're there. There's a reason why people put you there. Just make sure you understand that value and don't undervalue anyone. All right, let's go on to our reflection here. So kind of two big questions I took out of reflection. Me personally, talked about guiding principles, and these are kind of just a collection real quick, a snapshot of guiding principles that guide me. Integrity, respect, and accountability. Those are like almost the golden rule, if you will, as a leader. Integrity is huge. If you're seen as not truthful or just a shady leader, so to speak, a toxic leader, and in today's environment, I know that's a term thrown around a lot, you're not going to have a very good following. You're not going to have people who want to work for you. You're going to have just a toxic culture. It's not going to be good. And that kind of goes in hand with respect, having respect for your employees. It goes up and down, right? Yes, you are the leader, and yes, they are the people under you, but the respect is still there. They are still human beings, and they are your success, right? And then accountability, and as a leader, you need to have accountability. If something goes wrong and it's on you, right? You are the person leading that organization. Having accountability for others, if people make a mistake, being there to correct it, but also being there to guide them and give them feedback and how to be better. Moving on to collaboration, just being involved with everyone, collaborate with everyone, have everyone involved in anything the organization has going on. Don't leave people out. Be innovative, right? We can all follow a guide or something of a bigger picture thing, but how do you innovate? How do you maybe save an organization money? How can there's ideas out there? How do you empower the people below you to be innovative? That's huge. Let them think. They're the ones out there doing the job in it. Maybe they have something they could revolutionize the way you do things, right? So just being innovative, which once again there falls in line with empowerment, giving your people the opportunity to lead. The ones that are out there that know the process, that know the jobs, let them cook, so to speak, and then just empower them, listen to them, and give them that ability to become the leader. Sustainability, make sure you're not over pushing people. I know in today's day and age, do more with less is a big thing, but that can wear people out. That can wear people down. So you need to build a sustainable culture, right? Like, yes, we need to have our foot on the gas, but we don't need to be a continuous tempo where it's driving people into the ground. It needs to be sustainable. It needs to be something that can be not streamlined, but just kept throughout. And then finally, authenticity. Ooh, that's a hard one. Just being who you are, right? If kind of boils back into your ethics of who you are, right? Just being authentic to that. This is who I am. This is how I do my business, and this is how I get things done. And that's right there. Will give you a lot of props with a lot of people, just being authentic. Then our last thing right here: how do we building trust as an ethical leader and its impact on an organization? It's from top to bottom, right? So be the example, right? That starts off. That's any leader being the example of what you want to happen, what you want to be. That just whatever that is, be the example of that. Communication, once again, I think that's one of the most important things. Being able to communicate is key. You send cross messages or don't send the whole message to people. You're leaving them to fill in the blanks, and it might not be the answers or what you're seeking. So be direct. Know how to communicate. Communicate what needs to be communicated, and leave it at that. But be very clear and concise in what you say. Relationships are huge. Maybe you and your team are just one aspect of an organization, right? And there's other teams and things like that. Being able to work with them and build relationships with them, because those will come in handy in the future, especially when you need to get things done or they need help with things like that. Remember those times and build those relationships. Empowerment, I think we spoke enough about it, but it's another big thing. And accountability, the same thing. And then the last thing here, I think it's most important, is be a problem solver, right? That's why we're leaders. That's why we're here. We're going to come across problems. You as a leader need to know how to solve these problems, but also we kind of tie that back into innovation, right? Maybe your follower, somebody behind you has an idea. Listen to them, let them maybe potentially help solve the problem, right? But just be able to solve the problems. And so with that kind of concludes our Module 5 wrap up. Excited to be done with it, and excited to be on to Module 6.